the last round, that's not a pleasant feeling.
Especially when you've got another tournament coming up tomorrow, Saj.
Don't know what this is, and he attacks the g7 pawn, and Magnus plays g6, which apparently according to the board is not the best move in this position. And now he goes a3, bishop takes knight, pawn takes bishop, knight comes out, and he pushes the d pawn, and black responds in the same way. Of course, now the board is fairly balanced once again, but if I was in Magnus's shoes, I would feel a bit uncomfortable around all of these dark squares. They just feel a bit uncomfortable, but considering it's Magnus, he's probably fine.
It's only in the chess world that you can make a sentence like, the bar looks very balanced right now. Every other scenario, that's usually not the case, but you make a great point for the dark squared weaknesses in black's camp and white being the one with the dark squared bishop. So at some point, you might have to watch out for that. For Magnus, the pressure is off. He's already done the difficult part, he's won it, but we all know him. He still wants to finish the tournament on a high. I think this game is more about him having fun getting a fight in. We're going to see some fireworks in this one, but it's going to be a while. I think right now, we might even see that h-pawn moving forward, Nodirbek trying to get everything in.
Absolutely right. An h-pawn always finds its way to h5 or h6 in almost every game. But Tanya, I must also admit that with all of these weaknesses on the king side with the dark squares, I think Magnus is not going to castle on the king side. I think Magnus is planning to castle on the queen side instead. It feels a bit safer to me. Like, for example, I can play something like queen c7. Maybe I develop the bishop like this, or maybe I develop the bishop like this. It really doesn't matter. And then I castle over here. I feel like I'm a bit safer there because all of Nodirbek's pieces are positioned on the king side. For example, the queen is on the king side, this bishop is looking on this side, and as you mentioned, Tanya, this whole h4, h5 stuff is also targeting on the queen side. Sorry, on the king side.
Completely agree. It would take a lot of guts to put that black king on the side where all your opponent's pieces are eyeing. And now this little queen retreat move, Nodirbek has already played his queen twice. It kind of moves away from all kinds of threats, right? The knight jumping forward, hitting the queen, the e-pawn moving forward to e5, and then hitting the queen. So making sure none of that happens.
Quite interesting to me. Like, it doesn't feel solid to me at all. I feel like a result is gonna happen here.
Yeah, Nodirbek is like, I want to win this. Come what may, even if I lost both my games today, I want to win.
This is what Tanya and I were discussing earlier. He hasn't had the best day so far, but if he can finish it with a win against the GOAT of chess, then it's a W.
Yeah, then he goes back at least with something to cheer about. Like this game, by the way, everyone was looking forward to it with so much of interest that it would decide the tournament. But Magnus won both his games, Nodirbek lost both, so there's nothing about the tournament victory now on stake. But still, this is such an important one.
And that's because the intrigue for the championship's gone, but once more, it's about that second place spot, right? And Nodirbek wants
Not even second, it's just like if you beat Magnus in this tournament where he's 7 out of 8,
you forget yourself for everything.
That's the biggest result, no?
It really is, but I think knowing Nodirbek, what we've seen of him, he would have, everyone would have, but for him it's about the championship as well, It's not just, okay, now these players are off that mark where it's just about playing against Magnus, and it's a big deal. He wants to finish on high. Magnus isn't going to allow that to happen too easy, but it's a complicated position. Sahaj, take us through.
Knight to a5. I have no idea what's going on in this position. takes e8 was
Why
the...
bishop d4 mistake? King g8? Oh, it was a blunder. Already, no. I mean, this is fine, but queen takes rook was a blunder. No, but what was black playing now? King g8. Bishop e5, knight c5, yeah.
So your idea is bishop e5, bishop c7. Is that the point?
But I think bishop...
What's your idea here with white?
Yeah. Also, that's why black plays king g8. So bishop e5, black has knight c5. And then rook c5, queen d7, there's no rook c7 bit, maybe.
Bishop c7, there is queen takes c7.
God.
It's a tough.
Wesley showing his class here. Would you have played king h2?
Over there, you can make the
h2?
moves there.
Yeah, no, it's bishop d4, yeah?
In this position, king h2.
Oh, I guess there's queen h4. Oh no, knight f6. Knight f6, yeah. Or queen h.
Knight f6, yeah.
For bishop d4, but king g8. Bishop d4 stops knight f6. And now he wants, as you said, bishop e5, bishop c7, right?
Yeah, you can check and just show us the line that you're talking about. Sorry.
If you want, you can... Yeah.
But I'm just wondering what white has after king g8.
Maybe bishop to e5.
Knight c5. Then
Bishop c7, I think. If you don't do that, then I think black finds something.
Draw is queen d7, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
D7, rook d7. Okay.
Can we show?
So
Just
bishop
show it.
e5, knight c5, and bishop c7 and queen takes d7 is what Wesley is.
Oh, and I think Nodirbek, he realizes it, you know?
Yeah,
He thought queen takes rook. Aside, go back to that queen takes rook moment because Nodirbek is winning there.
Queen h4?
And here he thought he's winning with this first line of queen takes rook. Turns out to be a blunder. He had other better options.
Yeah.
And now look at him. He knows that he's let go of a big part of his
But
advantage.
what did Magnus play? Queen h4?
Oh, it's a draw.
They drew.
So queen h4 did he offer? Because it's just queen e1, queen g3.
Yeah, and then bishop d1, knight g3.
Very nice.
But I thought king g is also okay. But where was the win? Should I go and maybe call Magnus here?
Yeah, we can.
If he would like to join. Yeah? What do you think?
Wow. So Magnus Carlsen, he survived a scare in the last round. And
Oh, I see.
he survived a bit of a scare.
Sagar has the lowest rating, so we can